Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to a Star Citizen preview video. Now today, we are going to be talking about and showing some image and little bits of video of the Hull series. Now these ships have been anticipated for quite some time. It's a ship that I've been really looking forward to, and do you know what? I actually got quite surprised with this ship. I sort of did expect to be that box container, and the fact that it had all the containers in sort of individual form bolted on the side, it's quite a surprise. So anyway, first of all, every Hull series is capable of making a planetary landing. Originally, when Star Citizen sort of started back in the day, they did say that some of the larger ships wouldn't actually be able to go into planetary landing, and even the Hull E series is absolutely massive even when it's not extended. The Hull C, D and E have to be empty to land though, so they can't actually be fully loaded. Something else we need to take into consideration before we go any further as well, the Hull series measure cargo capacity in standard cargo units, or SCU, is determined by dividing the total capacity by 4, and that's the other ships I'm guessing, so that's probably going to be updated soon anyway. Now there's a link down there, it goes into full detail in the description below of how that actually works and how it's going to work in game. So let's get on. First off, we've got the Hull A. Now the Hull A is the smallest. Let's make the assumption that smaller is cheaper. It's going to be the most affordable one. Now it's categorized very similar to the Aurora and Mustang, but at the same time it does lack that multi-role aspect where them two do have that. It carries 75 standard cargo units. It's got one person as crew, sort of expected really for sort of a smaller ship. One TR5 thruster, which is relatively large for a tiny ship like that. And if you actually go online and do a bit of searching, you can actually see a comparison against the Mustang. And they're pretty much the same size. It is obviously slightly bigger, and there's no doubt once the cargo's on, but it's not a massive amount in it. It does come with weapons, but it's probably not going to be one of the best ones out there for obviously defending itself. It comes with two S1 2 weapons. It doesn't actually say what they're actually going to be yet. We'll have to wait and see. Once we move into the Hull series, I don't know what you guys think, but I think that these ones are not all about massive amount of guns. They're more about massive amount of cargo, and at the same time have the ability just to fight off smaller crafts. And in these sort of ships, your best bet is to avoid any sort of conflict. It also has that same capability as the other Hull series. It has the ability to de-extend and extend, obviously once the cargo's dropped. Now the benefit of that is obviously once you extend it up, you can move faster. So theoretically you should be able to get to point A to point B relatively quickly, and then once you get your load on, it's going to be slightly slower depending on what obviously craft you got. So I like that, and that actually might follow suit once you go through jump ports and stuff like that further on in the game. The next Hull series in line is the Hull B. Now the Hull B has been compared to the MISC series of the Freelancer, but clearly it does lack once again that sort of multi-role aspect of it. It's basically pure cargo once again. So let's have a look at some of the stats. Now the cargo capacity is 600 standard cargo units. It's one person again, so it's actually the same as the Hull A. Quite surprising actually, because quite a significant jump between sort of 75 and 600 between the two there. On the main engines, it's got two TR8s. Once again, these cargo ships seem to have some real hefty engine power. I suppose they obviously need it to move the actual ship. We don't know what the engine are going to be yet. There is quite a lot coming soon, and NAs on here. On the weapon side, they are slightly bigger, where the Hull A had 2 size 1s, 2 times. The Hull B has 2 times S2s, so slightly bigger. Nothing majorly to sort of really worry about if you're buying the short ship, because like I said, if you're flying around in UEE space, let's make a prediction that you should be sort of alright if you just try and avoid trouble. I think the Hull series is a fantastic line to go up if you just want to focus on cargo. If you come into Star Citizen, you know exactly what you want to do and you want to do cargo. Well, this is definitely the line for you. I know there's a lot of people out there that worry about defending themselves, but I believe in Star Citizen there's going to be the ability to play the game how you want to play the game. Yes, I agree, there will be elements where you might be interdicted by something, but at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be as bad as you think, and at the moment I definitely feel there's a big emphasis on weaponry. Particularly in hauling, I don't think that actually is going to be such a big issue, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, next on the list is the Hull C. The Hull C is apparently known for the most common sort of cargo hauler in the galaxy. It's intended to sort of hit the sweet spot between smaller single-person transport ships and massive freighters. So, and you'll see what I mean in a minute, because the A and B, and which we're going to look at in a minute, which is the whole D and E, this one is definitely in the middle, and you can see that in the actual stats. But that's probably why it's at a quite a good point. So let's take a look at some stats. Right, first of all, the cargo capacity is 4,800 standard cargo units. Now this one, obviously, because this is sort of between the sort of very large and the sort of smallish, this one actually has 3 people on board. It has 6 TR8s, it's a ridiculous amount. We're starting to get into some serious thrust power here. And this one actually has a number by the maximum shields. It actually says 7. Who knows if that's going to be right? It's the only one in all the ship lineups that actually's got that out, so maybe we make the assumption it is correct for now. Now on the weapon side, the Hull C is significantly different from the A and B. It has 2 times S2s, size 2s, 2 times S1, 2 times S2s, and 2 times S2s. So it's got, what, 4 guns in total from a variety of sides. So there's a big difference between the A and B and the C. The C is definitely at that starting point where if you were a little bit worried before about coming under attack, now you're sort of moving into sort of the size where you can definitely deal with targets oncoming. So this is definitely one of the ships where it starts to get a little bit exciting on the hauling side on the Hull C. And to be fair, if I was sort of playing on my own, that's the sort of ship I'll probably sort of go to because I think I could probably manage that on my own. Right, next on the list is the Hull D. Now, there's a massive leap now between the A, B and the C really, and this one is just very, very significant in the stats and physically in the size of the actual ship as well. Now, for a ship this size, you can probably expect, if you're going outside of UEE space onto lawless space, you're going to definitely need an escort in here because, you know, you're going to be a slight sitting target to some instance. I mean, you do have some weaponry, but we'll go for that in a minute. Okay, let's talk about some of the stats anyway. Right, capacity. 21,600, so not a leap. We've just moved to another planet on cargo capacity compared to the other ones. So yeah, absolutely massive. I mean, if you compare the Hull C with its 4,800 against 21,600, that is just a huge amount, a massive difference. Now it comes with, I say it comes with a crew of 5. It has a crew of 5. Well, actually, it doesn't have that neither, does it? The maximum crew is 5 people. It's got 8 TR10s. My god. Now we're getting some serious power now. We don't have any other information on the other components, but we do have some information on some of the weapons. It's got the same amount of points as the Hull C, but obviously slightly larger. It comes with 3 2 times S3s, and it comes with 1 2 times S2s. So not a massive jump really. Obviously the actual size difference in the weapons are bigger between the Hull C and D, but considering the actual size of the ship, not that significant really. So you're definitely probably going to need an escort, particularly if you're going out, as I say, into lawless space. I would say this is probably not a ship you would buy as a single player yet until you've maybe got some friends in the game. There's nothing stopping you getting wingmen from AI to escort you through the lawless or maybe even into UEE, so it doesn't have to be a case of you know, you just can't do it. Right, the final one on the list, guys, is the Hull E, and this is your opportunity to basically own a planet. I think it's probably the nearest thing you could actually equate it to. Now, the Hull E is actually the largest freighter available on the market today. It's going to be very, very slow at maneuverability, this one. Okay, let's take a look at some of the stats now. Now, like I said at the start, guys, this is your opportunity to own a planet, and you can haul a lot in this thing, guys. I had to sort of read it a couple of times. It's actually 153,600. That probably equates to the cargo capacity of every single Star Citizen ship in the game. It is absolutely huge. And I've got some little other sort of comparison bits. If you look at the start of the video, you can see the ship comparisons there. The Hull E is just absolutely immense. Now, as a crew of 5 people, it has 10 TR13 main engines, which is just absolutely crazy, and you can see in the holotable thing in a minute, it just looks absolutely crazy. I mean, this sort of ship, guys, we're on a different level here. If you're thinking about buying this as one-man band, I think this is definitely going to be a organisation ship or a bunch of your friends or something like that. This is probably going to be something that is going to... it's going to be a mission to get it to point A to point B to actually deliver the goods. But obviously, With that sort of cargo, I should imagine it's going to be very, very profitable. On the weapons side, it comes with 3 size 2 S4s. So once again, it has the same amount of actual weaponry, and it comes with 1 size 2 S3. So from the whole C to D to E, they've all got 4 weapons each. They're all size 2s. I know they've got different size, well, the 2 times S4, sorry. But it's not a major amount of difference between all of them, really. They've pretty much got all the same amount of weapons there. But saying that, I don't think this ship's really going to be the king of Defender. This is something that you're just going to be hauling just a mass amount of cargo. You know, you want to have definitely a convoy with you to protect you along the way. There's no doubt about it. Because, I mean, I can't imagine what the loading time is on this thing. Now, some of the comments that people have been saying over the past sort of couple of days is everyone's concerned about the vulnerability of the exterior because of the cargo containers are sort of on the outside rather in a box. So how will actually hull armor work? Not quite sure about that one, but I still see these as cargo transports at the end of the day. I don't think they're actually geared for fighting as such. Mild defense, I would say. I don't think you can win them all. I don't think you can have a massive cargo ship that can carry over 150,000 and can defend itself very, very well. It just wouldn't make sense, would it? Anyway, guys, that's my look at all the whole series, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I've put a couple of links down below. There's some links over there to the forum as well. There's actually a forum post there with some other videos on the ship so you can have a tour around them and so on. That's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.